everybody. I forgot to shoot this whenever I got up here this morning. But it's Tuesday, and right now it's about 9:30. Haven't seen anything yet. The wind's not as bad yet, but it's supposed to be. It's supposed to get real windy today. Tomorrow is supposed to be the worst. Supposed to have real high wind gusts tomorrow. So we got a light breeze. It's crisp. It's cold. Hopefully it's going to be a good day. Fingers crossed. So y'all stay with us. Hopefully we'll have some excitement, maybe some action. But you never know. You never know when you're up here. So y'all stick with us. Kick back, relax, grab you something cold to drink. I just heard a gunshot way off in the distance. Y'all grab you something cold to drink. In my case, I'd like to have something warm to drink right now. And y'all enjoy. We'll check back in here in a little bit.
Yeah, good morning, everybody. It's Tuesday, December 3rd. Jerod and I are back up on the mountain. Been here just a little while. And didn't jump nothing coming in. And haven't seen anything yet. But it's in the teens temperature-wise. And you can probably hear we still have a breeze. It's not started to gust yet. But when we first got up here, there was nothing. It was dead calm. So the wind chill's a little bit to deal with. Right now, I'm warm, but I'm probably going to have to get my goose down jacket on. And also the heated muff to keep my hands warm. Right now I got them in here in my hoodie, and my hands are nice and warm. But we're going to see what today brings us. It's a sunny day, just a few clouds in the sky. So I'm hoping something's going to happen today. I mean, I was walking up the trail. I let Jerod go ahead of me. I was taking my time. This mountain's getting to this old man. I just can't hardly make it up here, not carrying a backpack of gear and everything. But I was thinking, we've missed the rut. Everybody talks about the ruts usually around November, middle of November. They're saying the 17th and stuff like that. And they talk about a second rut, but it's not as good as the first one. And with buck season coming in basically a week late, it's Thanksgiving week, but Thanksgiving week's usually the third week of November. This time it was the 4th week of November. So it's thrown everything off by a week. Didn't see no hunters yesterday. Never heard a gunshot yesterday. As we were getting out this morning, a truck come up the hill with 2 hunters in it. But gonna sit back, see what today brings. Y'all stay with us.
Thank you, Jesus. Thank you, Jesus. First and foremost, thank you, Jesus. I just shot a rack buck. He come up out of the holler behind me. I had sat down and was getting ready to change my socks. And he walked up out of the holler behind me. I heard him walking. When I shot, he went, I think he fell where I shot him. But he was kindly over the hill, so I can't see him right now. I'm gonna walk up there. I never heard him run off, and these leaves are dry. I think I dropped him. Hold on.
Say again. I got my volume down too low.
But don't key back up and say anything. I've got another buck right in front of me. He's coming across the holler.
4.
What are the chances of that? I shoot a buck back here and this buck walks in on me just after the shot. Just after the shot, this buck walks in. Let's go check on our buck.
Well, folks, I just heard a shot from Jerod's area. Waiting for him to confirm on the radio. It is 10:34. Only heard one shot. Hope his gun was set. These Howlers are great rifles, but these Nyko Sterling 4x12x40 Game Pro scopes, this turret has no cover. And if you carry it on, let me see what he said. 10-4, take your radio. Okay, I don't know if you heard that or not, but he did make contact. He heard him fall, but he never heard him run after he fell. He's going now to confirm. So, get this hood off. But what I was telling you about these scopes. Great rifle, Howler, model 1500, 308, 5 round, 4 in the magazine, 1 in the chamber. But you can put 5 in the mag. Great rifle. Good safety. All the way back, bolt's locked. Up 1 click, the bolt will unlock. All the way forward, it's fired. Okay. He didn't tell me not much, but he shot. He heard him take off and go down, but he never heard him run anymore, so he's going to go check. He's taking his radio with him so he can holler at me, because if he tags off here, he's got to have the keys to the truck from me. So hopefully J&J's got one in the books, folks. Tuesday, the second day of our first week, which is the second week of buck season. And several people have commented. I know I seen a comment yesterday on the last video I posted before we come up here. It posted Saturday night at 8 o'clock while we're hunting the second week. And I've commented before and everything, but I'll say it in this video. Jerod's job, he's been there, I'm trying to think, 11 years, 12 years maybe, and maybe even 14, I don't know. He was able to get the first week off because he worked in a warehouse. But then about 2 years ago, let me think. Hold on. Say again. I got my volume down too low. Oh, 10-4. Okay. He's seen another buck. I don't even think he's made it to his yet. But again, the reason why we hunt the second week is 2022. I think it was. Yeah, 2022. He changed positions at his job. He's now out during the day. He's what they call an oil and greaser fueler. And he can't get the first week off, but he can get the second. So we decided I would just take the second week off. Of course, past couple of years, I've taken both weeks off. Yeah, this year's the only time I did not go out the first week. But so far, the second week seems to have paid off. 2022, I killed an 8 point. 2023, I killed a 6 point. He got a 6 point. And now he's got another one. So keeping our fingers crossed. So I'll report back what's going on. Maybe that other buck he's seeing will come my way. Just gotta hope. Well, I don't know what's going on. I hope his gun was set. Like I said, that turret on that scope came with these howls. I just heard 3 shots. He hasn't come across the radio. But if his scope's off, he is going to be one furious guy, especially if he didn't get that buck. Guess I'll just wait for him to come across the radio and tell me what's going on. I'm kind of discouraged now. We knew this problem last year and we said, we need to get new scopes, something that doesn't have an exposed current. Because if you shoulder them and they rub against your backpack, it'll click them. Now the thing is, I took a picture of mine after it was set, so I know where it needs to be. And I don't think it will turn by riding, if you're shouldering your gun, a complete rotation. It just knocks it off 3 or 4 clicks or something like that. And I know where mine's supposed to be. But for him to take 3 more shots, now he thought it went down the first shot. I guess it took off and he heard it go down, but he didn't hear it run. So he may have found it and had to take some more shots. I don't know. But altogether a total of 4 shots. I'm really concerned now. I thought yesterday when we went back to the truck, I had a pizza box in the truck, and I thought maybe we ought to put that box up and he needs to take a shot and check it. I wish I'd have mentioned it now. I'll report back. I haven't heard nothing from Jerod after those last 3 shots, so I don't know if he's tracking it, if he's working it. I just know I'm worried about his rifle and that scope. I'm not worried about the rifle, I'm worried about the scope. He might have to be tracking it. He could be working it and just not bothering to bother me because he don't want me to quit hunting. He wants me to stay right here. Because, he knows if he tells me he's got one, I'm going to be getting up and I'm going to be heading nowhere. I just wish he would radio me and say, hey, I got it. Or, hey, my scope's off. Something. He just doesn't want to bother me while I'm hunting. But that's the thing about hunting with a group. You help each other. It's not bothering anybody. I mean, somebody shoots one, you want to go, congratulate them, and they're going to be dragging, so now you carry the rifle, make it easy on them. But I guess Jerod knows that my hunting up on this mountain is getting shorter and shorter every year. I'll report back when I know something. Just stay with us.
Well, everyone, I had the worst of luck. Well, everyone, I had the worst luck any hunter could possibly have, I believe. Had a buck come in behind me. Couldn't turn the camera on. Never heard him until he was right on top of me. I pulled down on him and I fired. I really couldn't see him real well. He was up over the hill right there. He disappeared and I thought he fell. Never heard him run. Never heard leaves. He had a big rack on him. So then I come over here and I turn the camera on. I'm hollering at Dad, telling Dad I just shot one. And as I'm getting ready to go over there, I had another buck come off the ridge over here down into the bottom and was walking right up to me. Now, it wasn't that big. It was a little 3-point or something like that. He was legal. But I go up to check the buck that I first shot at. And this buck that's in the holler, he runs off. He blows and he runs off. Well, I go up there to look for the buck that I shot at. He's gone. There's no blood. There's no hair. I missed him. As I was looking for him, that 3-point came through the holler on the back side of this where I was at. So I shot at him after I knew I hadn't got the other buck. And I missed him. When we got here, I think it was Friday, I might have found it Saturday, I noticed that this had turned. Okay, there's no way to lock that on this scope. This is a Nico Sterling Game Pro 4x12x40. Get it to where you can see it. Nico Sterling. But this had turned. It has a little sight window, so you can roughly remember where your scope's supposed to be. And I had took a picture of it when the gun was sighted in. And I thought I got it back, but I didn't know which direction it turned. I didn't know if it had turned to the left or to the right. So I didn't know which direction to take it back to. But I thought I had it, and I told Dad, I think it was Saturday, that I wanted to shoot this rifle to make sure it was zeroed. And with all the crap going on with the camper, I forgot to try and shoot it to see if it was zeroed. Looking at where the deer was, flight trajectory of the bullet. I overshot him, and I overshot him by a lot. And the 3-point in the holler, I overshot it by a lot as well. So I came back here to my spot and I adjusted the crosshairs the way I should have adjusted them the first time, but I didn't know. I'm sick to my stomach right now. I'm disgusted. As soon as we get home, this scope's coming off this gun and it's going in the trash. I've got no use for a scope that has an exposed crosshairs turret that can't be locked. I just missed the biggest buck that I've ever had the privilege and the blessing to pull the crosshairs on. Y'all stay with us.
Well, as I feared after I heard them three shots, he said his scope's off. The story he just told me on the radio was he shot that first one. He said his head was down. He seen the rack and he shot and it just all disappeared. He radioed me and told me he'd shot one. And he started walking to go look where it was at. And another buck come off the hill. Well, he was waiting for that buck to leave. And finally, he jumped it, it took off. And he went looking for where he'd shot his buck, the first one. And didn't see it. Couldn't find no blood or nothing. So then he got down in the roadway that we walk up, and the holler that's way down in front of him, he really can't see down that holler from where he sits. But when he gets in the roadway, he can see down in it. Thinking that buck that he shot may hit that roadway. And he seen that other buck. And well, he hadn't found no blood or nothing. So he was just standing there looking at him. So he shot at it. It jumped, and he shot at it again, and it just stood there and looked at him. I think that's how it went. And he shot that third shot, and it took off. And then he went to check up there. He couldn't find no blood or nothing. So he's saying his scope's off. He's going to check it here in a little while. Where that turret had moved because he'd slung that rifle on his shoulder. And we're riding along his side of his backpack, like this. And this turret, riding along his backpack, had turned his turret. His windage and everything, it's got a cover on it. That's what's strange. They got a cover on the windage, but not over this. And it's supposed to be one of these, once you get it set, you can take the turret off and turn it back to 0, put it back on, tighten it down, and that way if you ever move it, you can always go back to 0 and it's on there. So he says he don't know if he overshot, if he undershot. He's got a picture of where his turret was set. He done that last year. But we don't know how much it turned, and going in and out of a case and everything. So he's frustrated. I asked him if he wanted me to come and help. He said no, he didn't want to bother my hunting. He said these deer are moving. He'd seen 2 bucks this morning already. Shot at one, couldn't find it. Had jumped that second one when he was looking for the first one. Then when he got in the roadway, looked down the holler, here come that second one. And since he couldn't find the first one, he shot at it, didn't get it. So he knows his scope's off. I guarantee you, this time next year, these Howlas will have different scopes on them. The scopes that come with them are nice, except for that turret, that top turret, your elevation. I don't know what I'll put on mine. I like the burst that I have on my 700 BDL, and that might be what I get to put on this one. So I'll report back later. I'll let you know if I see anything or I get anything. 4 gunshots back up behind me here. I don't know if I'll see anything or not. Just have to wait and see. Just never know when you're up here in the national forest where these deer are going to travel. You can't pattern these deer unless you're here every weekend. So it's just luck of the draw. Stay tuned. There'll be more hunting. Well, I just got back from checking my camera. Jerod radioed just a few minutes ago that believes he's got a scope adjusted. And but definitely we're changing scopes. Like he said, as soon as we get back from hunting, these scopes are coming off both rifles. And this is the first year we didn't bring a backup rifle with us. Usually I have the Mossberg Maverick 308, and that's usually when I'm carrying a 700 BDL. But we was trying to cut down on how much stuff we bring with us. But I went down and checked my camera, and I had nothing on mine except for the 2 times I was there. Jerod had checked his, and he had 2 does. I think he said it was early morning hours. And then a big old 6-point. So he seen, shot at one. He said it could have been that 6-point. He doesn't know. He just seen white rock, and then seen that other deer. Couldn't find his, and was walking around, trying to find sign. He couldn't find his deer, and had that other one coming in, and it spooked and went away. And he was still looking for his, Got down in the roadway. You've heard me tell the story. Got over in that holler that we see as we're coming up, and it was that one was standing there, and he took a shot at it, missed, it ran, stopped, and that's when he took the next shot, and it went up the hill, stopped, took another shot, and then it took off, and then he went and looked to see if he hit it. No evidence of any blood nowhere in there or anything. And then he was telling me, I don't know, I'll find out more when I talk to him. He found a bullet, I guess, impact somewhere. And he said he was shooting high. So, we'll stick it out. I tell you what, I think it's colder today than what it was yesterday. It is 1 o'clock, and if I didn't have the heated vest on underneath this thing, I'd be froze. Yesterday I didn't even wear the heated vest. Just what I've got on right now, and I stayed fine other than my legs. Well, I took care of that this morning. Put on another pair of thermals, and my legs seem to be fine, but my body feels chilled. So, keep my hands warm with the New View Hunting heated muff. So that's all I've got to report. 1 o'clock. Checked my camera. Jerod checked his camera. He didn't get either deer. I haven't seen a deer, a squirrel, a chipmunk, a bird, or anything. It's like there's no life out here on this flat. But that's the way it's been sometimes. And then all of a sudden, a doe comes across or a buck comes through. So we'll see. Well, just for a little bit, I had 1 bar of LTE signal sitting right here at my spot. It's never happened. I seen a lot of comments to the video I published Saturday, or had it set to publish on Saturday, and I didn't respond to any of them, but I did hit the like button for the comments. And I tried to do a little YouTube short from sitting right here, and it started uploading, and then I lost signal, so I doubt it ever got uploaded. Now, if we go down to White Sulphur Springs to pick up anything, it may load then, but that's the first time in all these years I've had cell phone that I've actually had a signal here. But like I said, it was just for 10 minutes, 15 minutes maybe, and then it's gone. It hasn't come back. Still haven't seen nothing. It's almost 10 to 2. And it's still cold. I'd say with, I don't know. I've always thought if somebody close shot one, your chances of seeing one that day is going to be slim because of the noise of the gun and retrieving or whatever. Of course, with Jerod, shot that one, didn't get it. Seen that second one, got shot at it 3 times, didn't get it. Chances of seeing something might be slim, but then you never know. That's the thing. There's nobody up here, just me and him. I've seen that trucker early this morning. It was going on up the road. We're the only ones in here hunting. And, where I'm at's way down the hill from where Jerod's at, so I still could have something come through. But I was just glad that he got the opportunity. I just wish his scope wouldn't been off. If you ever buy a rifle or you buy a scope, if it doesn't have a cover over that turret, don't buy it, because you can't lock it. I mean, like I said, after I got my gun zeroed last year, Jerod got his. I took a picture of mine, and I keep it on my phone, so I know where it's supposed to be sitting. He did the same thing, but apparently it got off anyway, somehow. But just a little update. Probably be in here another hour and a half, 2 hours maybe. Don't want to walk down this mountain with all the debris that's in the roadway now, or the old logging road, even with headlamps. It's just too dangerous to walk out of here in the dark. And the thing is, going down that hill, or down the logging road, down the holler, one or both of those bucks he shot at, we might get another chance. Maybe I'll be able to connect. So just stay with us. Well, it's going on 3 o'clock. And Jerod says he's got his gun set, but he didn't shoot it. So I don't know if he bore sighted it, because it's bolt action. You can bore sight them. But when he told me that time, I said, well, we'll leave early enough to get back to the truck. And I've got a pizza box in the truck. We can set it up. He can shoot at it from 25 yards, 30 yards, whatever, and make sure he's hitting his mark. And we'll go from there. It might be a good idea from now on, no matter how much stuff we're bringing, to bring a backup rifle. That's the reason why a lot of people have commented on my favorites, talking about my rifles that I have. And there's been a few people who've made comments about them having the high-rise mounts, see-through mounts. Well, back in the day, every rifle had iron sights of some sort. So if you ever had a problem with your scope of failing, you dropped down to your iron sights. That was the reason for the high-rise mounts. Modern days now, you're buying rifles that don't have any iron sights on them, so you have to rely solely on a scope. It is what it is. Those rifles that I showed, the 742, 760, and so forth, have high-rise mounts on them, the 30-30, the 35. And they will continue to have high-rise mounts just because of that reason. Sometimes, the magnification on your scope, you see a deer, you take a shot, you missed or whatever. It's kind of hard to get those deer back in that scope, especially if they take off running. Where with iron sights and see-through mounts, you can get on that deer quickly. So that's the reason why a lot of my rifles, a lot of Jerod's rifles, have high-rise mounts on them. The only rifles we have that don't have the high-rise mounts are like this Howler. I'm trying to remember, my Mossberg Maverick doesn't have open sights. Can't remember if my Marlin XL7 25-06 has open sights or not. But a lot of rifles nowadays, especially bolt actions, are being built with no iron sights on them. So you have to rely on a scope. And scopes will fail. I don't care if you paid $1,800 for a scope. Something can go wrong with that scope. So, for me and Jerod, we'll keep iron sights on our rifles, the ones that have, or keep see-through mounts on our rifles that have the iron sights. But like I said, it's going on 3 o'clock, so I guess we're going to get ready to pack up, or at least I am. I'm going to radio him. I have not seen nothing all day. I went and checked the camera. You've already seen that clip. I haven't heard the first sound of a deer or anything. I haven't seen any squirrels. I did see a wood hen in here pecking around. I didn't even see any of those little blue, what I call winter birds. And I just heard a limb break and fall. So, get back down there, get his gun checked, and then we'll regroup tomorrow and try it again. I appreciate you watching. Don't know, we're having camera issues, battery issues, and everything, so I don't know if I'll get to closing, but I just want to thank you for watching J&J True Outdoor Adventures. And like I said, this is the true outdoors. I'm out here freezing, even with the heated vest on. Jerod was freezing yesterday. I don't know how he's doing now. I know he don't want to interrupt my hunting. He don't want to bother me. And he won't radio and say, let's go. That's going to have to be me. So, I appreciate that. But, thank you for watching. And, as farmers are saying, see you in the woods in the morning.